Hi, everybody. Welcome to today's edition of the CrossFit Games Update Show. I'm Sean Woodland with Pat Sherwood. Tommy Marquez is here as well, wrapping up the women's side of the 2015 Reebok CrossFit Games Open. And coming into week number 5, we thought that the women's race was pretty much decided and it was going to be the men's race that was the most exciting. And it turns out we could not have been more wrong.
No, the women's race has been incredible the entire time. And 15.5 shook up the leaderboard in a way that we would have lost a ton of money. Had you told me that Camille might have shifted a spot or told me she wouldn't have won, I would have thought you were crazy. But what actually happened, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, 15.5 definitely shook up the women's overall leaderboard, and when you look at the results, you can see why. It was Colleen Foch who got the win. Congratulations to her, 6 minutes, 26 seconds. But down in 8th place, tied with Lauren Brooks, is Annie Thorisdottir. She redid the workout from when we saw her do it in Las Vegas and improved her time quite significantly. Got 6 minutes, 45 seconds. The woman you don't see on that leaderboard is Camille LeBlanc-Bazinet because she finished in 92nd. So Annie Thorisdottir, is the big winner here, and Camille LeBlanc-Bazinet goes from looking like she's going to win the whole Open to falling down the overall leaderboard.
I still almost can't believe that it happened. Annie Thorisdottir was kicking butt. It was incredible. She was healthy again. It was good to see her doing what she does, which is incredible, consistent performance. And she did that again on 15.5. Doesn't need to win it. She just took 8th. Did absolutely incredible. But as much as Annie crushed 15.5, 15.5 crushed Camille LeBlanc-Bazinet. I mean, she was in first place so handily that we thought she had this thing sewn up. She had 74 points total after 4 weeks of competition. And on the final workout, she picked up an additional 92 points. Didn't see that coming, and that's what produced such an incredible swing.
Right, so on the overall leaderboard, it's Annie Thorisdottir who picks up the victory. A great Open for her with a 9th, a 66th, a 10th, an 11th, a 7th, and an 8th. Cara Webb will finish 2nd. Camille LeBlanc-Bazinet drops all the way to 5th, and Stacy Tovar cracking the top 10. She finishes in 9th. Now, doing well in the Open is just the beginning. Now, it's not the biggest of deals, but it does matter, and to tell us why, send it over to Tommy Marquez.
Thanks, Sean. Yesterday, we discussed the importance of the Open as it pertains to crowning the CrossFit Games champion. But what about the rest of the podium? Yesterday, we featured a graphic that showed that every eventual CrossFit Games champion has always finished inside the top 3 of the Open. Unfortunately, for the other 2 podium spots, the relationship isn't as strong. But starting early on in 2011 and 2012, the top 3 in the Open on the women's side each took a 1st, a 2nd, and a 4th at the Games. But in recent years, that's where the relationship starts to get shaky. In 2013, the top 3 in the Open were Sam Briggs, followed by Camille LeBlanc-Bazinet, and 3rd place was Lindsey Borden. Now, Sam took 1st, but then Camille took 16th at the Games, and Lindsey Borden didn't even go individual. She opted to go team and finished 3rd with CrossFit Adrenaline. Now, last year in 2014, things kind of went off the rails with Sam taking 1st in the Open, Camille LeBlanc-Bazinet finishing 2nd, and then Kalina Ladares was 3rd in the Open, and 2 of those 3 women in Sam and Kalina didn't even qualify for the Games last year. So while performance in the Open is a good indicator for the CrossFit Games champion, it doesn't necessarily guarantee anything else for these other 2 women, Sean and Pat, in terms of making the podium.
All right, thank you, Tommy. And look, even though Annie Thorisdottir finished 1st and Camille LeBlanc-Bazinet didn't have the best workout, Camille LeBlanc-Bazinet is still very much a contender, as are quite a few women who are in the top 15 of that leaderboard.
Oh, yeah. Don't misinterpret what we're saying here. Camille had a bad workout, but she did absolutely phenomenal. And I still think good luck trying to take that crown off of her head. Potentially in the past, when I think Camille's mental game wasn't as strong, this could have, thrown her for a bit. But I think she's a much more disciplined athlete now. And I think this is only going to drive her to do what she needs to do. But, hey, she's not just a contender. Annie Thorisdottir is healthy. That should be terrifying. You've got Sarah Sigmundsdottir blowing up onto the scene. Cara Webb's coming back. Camille's going to be strong. Fouché. Sam Briggs, just because she's not on the front page there of the leaderboard, if you're counting her out, you're making a mistake.
Regionals are now up next. May 15th they get started and tickets are available. Which one intrigues you the most?
Yeah, well, 2 of the women that I just named are going to be competing where I want to be watching, and that is at the Meridian Regional. This is going to be insane. I'm going to piggyback off of what Annie Thorisdottir said, which is there's the potential, which is incredible, for Iceland to take 3, if not all 5 spots up there on the podium, with Annie Thor's daughter, Sarah Sigmund's daughter, Katrin Davis' daughter is fired up after what happened to her last year. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen over there.
Well, the Badass Ninjas are now moving on to regionals. The rest of us, well, we get to become spectators. But still, we want to congratulate all the women who participated in the 2015 Reebok CrossFit Games Open. And if you're curious how you did overall, we had the scaled version this year, and that gave people some options to kind of have a different combination of workouts, whether it was 2 scaled and 3 RX or vice versa. More than 24% chose to do the whole thing scaled. That's a little more than 14,200 people. 23.2% scaled 15.3 only. That was the one that started with muscle ups. And then almost 18% did the entire thing as prescribed. And I mean, I keep saying it. It's just we've added more people, but we have not diluted the fitness here.
No, every year kind of the median level of fitness just increases, and the only thing which is going to happen is next year when we report these numbers, it's going to be a little bit more and a little bit more. It's going to keep happening.
Well, that's going to do it for us. For Tommy Marquez and Pat Sherwood, I'm Sean Woodland. Remember, regional tickets are on sale now. That gets going on May 15th. We'll see you guys back here tomorrow as we break down the men's side of things, and we'll have a special guest, Dan Bailey, joining us here on the desk. We'll see you next time.